Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am back into detailing for a wash and talk, and basically, this is going to be serving as like a wash and talk, but also like something for me to try to gather some B-roll footage for certain products, including what I have in my hand, which is called Quiver's Seal, which is supposed to be one of the newest products that did come out not too long ago, at least officially anyway. And I thought this was really interesting because this is marked as a universal, I don't know if you can see that, but it says it's a universal ceramic sealant, meaning that it doesn't just go on the paint, not only that, but it goes on like, well, most surfaces. I think it also goes on to interior stuff as well. So yeah, not only this goes on to exterior surfaces, including the paint, but also like the trim, like plastics, right? But it can also go on to interior surfaces, and of course even the engine plastics. So it says, yeah, it says here interior plastics, engine compartment plastic, and then of course even glass. Enhanced protection or enhanced durability, revives bed liners and trams. So not only it gives protection, but it actually brings back the blackness of your plastics. So that's actually sounding really cool. And I did see a demonstration from Josh himself, the guy who's behind Quiver, and it, you know, of course adds some shine to it and boosts existing ceramic coating. So you can even use this as a topper. You can just use this as a lot of things, which is really cool, at least on paper anyway. And let me see, so let me also, so yeah, the directions is very much straightforward. You just spray and wipe off. This is water based, so you can definitely dilute it down to 3:1 and probably stretch it out, but that obviously will affect the durability, but you know, that's to be expected. But I think this is going to be potentially a game changer, I feel, because it's so universal. You can, you know, put this on anything as long as, you know, not like probably like infotainment screens or anything like that. Other than that, you can put this on the plastics, of course, interior and exterior. This is going to be really nice to kind of have around as like that go-to product for just anything. Like, oh, you want to touch up the plastics, you want to maybe touch up even like the dashboard, so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, this might be something. Josh is probably onto something here with this universal sealant. So anyways, I really want to give this a try during this wash and talk today, because I think some of the plastics could use some touch up or whatever. And you know, I don't have to bust out like something like Trem Plus or something crazy like a Trem coating or something like that, which costs, you know, a heavy buck or whatever. So yeah, we'll get to all that. But the other thing I wanted to really focus on and centralize in this session is this wash being more of an acidic wash. So I actually saw, I forget the gentleman's name, but I'll drop the channel down below of where I got this idea from. But the acid wash, I think, is something underutilized just because of how it has been marketed thus far. So, and I actually thought of this as well. It's like, why not use more of the acidic wash, especially once you get the ceramic coating on there, when the ceramic coating is kind of designed to resist such a pH, whether it be high or low pH. And some say, oh, you know, it wears down the coating faster or whatever, but I think a acidic shampoo, such as this from Detail Co., the low pH soap, will serve as like that nice maintenance sort of cleanup for your ceramic coating once in a quarter, so you know, 4 times a year, pretty much. So I think his name is Ryan, but anyway, so it's like starting to catch up in my mind. But anyway, I'll just drop it in the description. Really cool idea, and I also thought about it, but I'm glad that he kind of confirmed it. So I'm going to definitely use this more potentially, but I think it'll work fine. Like, I think as long as you have a pretty good acidic soap, you'll be doing really good for your the ceramic coating. So that's pretty much the main pillars of this video today, which is the method, right, of using acidic wash once in a while, and then of course the universal sealants, which I will use probably maybe across a number of surfaces, maybe even the probably the headlight, and then maybe I might even actually use it on a tire, like on the outer part. But yeah, anyway, do something a little crazy there. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, so it's gonna be a pretty acidic focused wash today. I'm gonna use 1 ounce for the bucket. That should be enough, and then we're gonna definitely use 2 ounces for the foam cannon. So 3 ounces altogether. So yeah, definitely a sort of bucket wash today. I'm gonna get my mitt, in fact. Almost forgot. Let's get that. Oops, almost forgot to open the damn thing. So let me see. All right, that should be enough for the foam cannon. I have plenty of acid wash. I did buy a whole gallon on sale from Detail Co. and House of Rags. So we should definitely be fine on the amount. I'm not gonna worry about that. And yet, it's a pretty warm day today in California, so that definitely does feel like California, let me tell you. Well, a little humid since I do live more towards the beach. Nothing too drastic outside of that. But we do have plenty of sun though, so we have to be a little careful with the acid wash. That's the only thing. All right, let's go to town on the foam, hopefully. Oh yeah, I always forget the crucial step. There we go. Turn on the damn thing. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, it was on the thinner side, so I'm going to actually add a little more soap. Because that was quite low to my liking. In fact, I might even reapply a little bit of it right now. See if that helps. Okay. Okay. That should be plenty enough. All right, I think that's plenty of time on the acid. Whoops. Oh yeah, let's go on this side first, and then we can rinse this way. But anyway, okay. Let's go. All right, make sure we keep it wet. Yep, classic shampoo wash today, but the only thing different, it is a acid wash. But for those who don't know, what would want to do this is because once in a while it's good to make sure you have all the minerals off of the coating, because ceramic coatings are actually porous if you look through a microscope, of course, and invisible to the naked eye. See it, but because of that, it catches and accumulates a lot of the minerals that it catches over time from the road, your water, especially when you have hard water like mine. So that's why it's actually really good to treat your car to an acid wash once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time, unless you I guess dilute it. But I guess you want to go ahead and do that, and then that's your car. But I think for the most part, once in a while is definitely enough. That way you can extend the life and the sort of hydrophobicity of your ceramic coating, extend that exponentially, I guess. Even if the coating claims that, oh yeah, you don't need to do anything, no toppers or nothing, it wouldn't hurt it, I don't think so. But definitely get the minerals off. That is one of the important steps to keeping a ceramic coating if you want to really get the most out of it. I swear these the wedges or whatever you call them, the hose guards, when they work great, but when they don't, it's like, ugh, that's not a good feeling. It's kind of frustrating, rather. It's also good to have an acid wash once in a while, because a lot of these spaces like this, these really intricate spaces, really start to accumulate the minerals, because a lot of the water gets trapped in there. And some people just sometimes don't blow with the blower well enough or something. There's always some sort of water in there, so that's why it's also good to do this, so that way just get that out there as best as possible. That's why I'm trying to drive it into those little small spaces, more so on my headlamps, and here as well. And this part, just because it's the front, make sure that it keeps wet. So yeah, I was glad I was reminded of the acidic wash. I think it was Fine Detailing. I think that's the name of the channel that I'm trying to remember. Ryan's the guy who's running it, I think. So if I get the names, any of those names wrong, forgive me. Names are hard. I'm usually more of a hybrid wash kind of guy, so that's why my steps are a little scrappy. I don't do this shampoo wash very often. But, you know, it's definitely nice to do it once in a while, and especially now that, I am reminded about the acidic wash, it'll definitely be more of an acidic wash than anything. Of course, you definitely want to incorporate the alkaline wash for your pre-wash, also once in a while. But today is just the 1 pH method, which is more on the acidic side. Yes, do be mindful about what you're dealing with though when it comes to acidic washes, because they can be nasty under the sun, but as long as you have a nice high quality acidic wash, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. But still, always be mindful of the chemicals you are using in your lineup. But when it comes to everything else, I still have been eyeballing the pressure washer from Josh V, seeing that it's supposed to come out around this time, I think, if not August. But I do really want it, but hopefully I can kind of get mine more towards August, just because I do have things to acquire in July, so and including servicing this vehicle, right, my Corolla, just so she's taken care of, because it is her oil change. Her oil change is coming up, well, in fact, it's tomorrow as of this recording. All right, so let's go ahead and rinse it off. Okay, so now here comes one of my methods. This is basically a giant drying aid, if you think about it. It's just ensuring that we are not having to worry about any water spotting. And that way I don't have to use any DI water, because DI water is an expensive thing to produce, especially as an enthusiast. I'm not renting out a DI tank or anything, so, you know. Okay, that should be enough. Let me just go make sure I have the back covered. And let's just make sure we keep this side nice and wet. So again, no watermarks, spotting, whatever. Ugh. Yes, sir. And I can definitely tell you, folks, that the coating is still holding up. At least on the sides anyway. The roof is always something a little weird, because maybe it's just how my driveway is, but the roof always tells a different story to me, visually anyway. I don't know what it is. If anyone has an answer for that, let me know in the comments. But I do feel like maybe because of some parts of the roof is leveled, the water has a harder time evacuating. But even then, the braking action doesn't really happen all that much on the roof. But on the sides, that's where more of the minerals accumulate, more usually. At least I think anyway. They're fine. They're completely still hydrophobic, still beating, just fine. And yeah, this is a little strange. That's the thing that always occurs. Oh shit. My just washes over here. Just put that back. Yep. Shampoo wash still in it. Just know when to use it, and being mindful. And I think there are plenty of tools out there that'll help with your foam, your shampoo washes being efficient. Yeah, it does require extra steps, but hey, I mean, it ensures your vehicle is clean. I'm all for that. Never wanted to hark on rinseless washing or anything like that. Because I was a shampoo user before the rinseless wash craze blew up, of course. My first rinseless wash was, I think it was O&R. And I think that's a lot of people's cases. But I do wonder nowadays what's people's first rinseless wash, right, in 2026. I wonder if it's still O&R, or is it something else? Is it like Nemesis or Yum, perhaps? Or entirely something else. Could be Griot's. Griot's actually not bad, but you have to be mindful and careful that it does stain your media, so you do want to, if you want to clean it, then use some sort of all-purpose cleaner, Green Star or something. All right, we're just about almost done, at least with the paint anyway. We always have to do the wheels. I'm gonna go around the vehicle again with some, oh yeah, that baby is shining. Okay, anyway, let me see, where's my blower? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in case anyone was curious about what rinseless wash I was using DIY Detail. Can't go wrong with it, absolutely not. I like their stuff. I do feel, speaking of DIY Detail, their tire dressing's been sneaking up on me. Like, it's pretty good stuff. And ever since I applied it, I mean, it's still holding up decently up to this point, but it's for something that's not supposed to hold up for a crazy amount of time, like pans, clean, tire dressing or whatever, it actually performs pretty well. I mean, I don't know about the water being or whatever, but as a tire dressing in general, I actually really do like it. I do feel that it doesn't get talked about enough. Well, that's just me. Maybe I'm a little behind on that part because I've been using Pan's tire dressing or clean tire dressing along with Ghost at some point. But then DIY Detail actually provided me a care package, which thank you. I've been using more of the products, and yeah, man, it's good stuff. I've unfortunately been stepping away from stuff like Superior products because I do start to feel that there is a reason why they're priced that way, you know? And I don't want to say like, oh, you know, every cheap product is automatically a bad product, but from the stuff I've been hearing, especially with Dark Fury, it's very, very strong, using chemicals that are pretty caustic and also actually pretty harsh on the tire itself, rather than kind of just doing enough. I think it's overdoing it. So rather using Dark Fury, I've been just using just a general purpose cleaner, and also just go a little gentle on it. Like if you're gonna use Dark Fury, just really dilute it down to like 1 to 10 or something, at least. Yeah, because otherwise that's some strong stuff. I mean, it works, but it's very strong, and some people use it in their main routine, 1 to 5 or something, 1 to 4 maybe. And that's probably gonna do some detrimenting, if that's the word for it, on the tires. I think the paint should be okay as long as it doesn't dry up in the sun. But I don't know. What do I know, right? I'm not the one who's producing the products. But that's just something I've picked up on from people. So I've kind of, for a while now, been trying to really change up my approach with tires and wheels. Yeah, so I now will, speaking of which, get going on the alkaline stuff. That's pretty much the important bit when it comes to tires, because tires are kind of like your shoes, very important. You don't want to go cheap on them. I mean, if there's a car part you want to go expensive on, it's the tires. I'd rather put my money into tires because they're the ones that's touching the road, not the exhaust or spoiler, fucking front bumper. That's your tires, man. Your life when you're driving, man, your life's on the line on those tires. You're putting your life on those tires. So do you want to go cheap on them? Yeah, well, I think one can answer that themselves. I hope the answer is nah, go premium. Obviously there is a line, right? Just go with whatever it came with, right? In this case, I think mine are Toyo, if I'm not mistaken, or Dunlop. So I'll go with Dunlop. If not, maybe Michelin, I don't know. If I were to go with a different tire. this Ryobi blower has been very, very helpful in my routine. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Okay, almost done, pretty much, and then we'll get to try out the seal. Yeah, sorry about the camera angle being scrappy. It's kind of how it goes sometimes. All right. But continuing on with the tire, don't go cheap and don't go too hard on the tires. Just do a round of like APC or whatever. I have my citrus wash right here. I like to do both the brush and the mitt. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty dirty. Gotta dunk that back in there. All right, now we finally get to crack open this bad boy. Those who really are curious. Oh, the infamous red seal. It actually should be warm, so that it's like very pliable. So I'm gonna slowly and gently try to get it out with my fingers, which actually, wow, that was easy. Nice fruity smell to it. Don't know what it is exactly. I've got, but it is kind of similar to Rogue, which is like a pina colada kind of thing, but more so on the fruity side. Excuse me, rather than like, well, I guess a coconut is a fruit, but less coconut, more on the general fruity side. It's like a Starburst almost to me, like a typical Starburst like candy flavor. So now let me take you guys to the wheel, or the more so the tire. Get this all situated right here. Hopefully we can fit it right here. Okay, let's check it out. So let's go and, oh yeah, give me a microfiber. Interesting that it does actually foam a little bit. And then we're gonna spray a little bit on the wheel itself, see what happens. Oh, nice. Okay, so it actually does darken the tire a little bit. It definitely has more of that satin finish. So this is like a way to like kind of extend your tire dressing if you want to. Something in between. Oh. So yeah, it's decent for something for your tire. But I think it'll definitely provide the protection more than like the look of it. So probably like come back after the tire dressing is dry and then you can apply this on top. But it's good enough. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent little thing for your tire, like I said. So, definitely won't magically like blacken your tire, it looks like. But it'll definitely like add a bit of protection to it in between your washes and whatever, if you want to keep your dressing. You know, especially when it's still holding up, I would definitely apply that. Let me do it again, just so I have every nook and cranny and pore or whatever of the tire. But yeah, that's something you could do to your tire. It's not gonna definitely mess it up for sure, but it won't exactly like darken your tire like super magically. It'll definitely probably do better on the trim. So let's go up to the trim and check it out. Okay, so here's the trim right here. Hopefully you can see it, but it does show some signs of the environment doing the work. That was there before, so the acid wash didn't do that. Just accumulation of crap from, you know, in the environment and such. But definitely, hopefully, with the clean side of my microfiber, we can get that taken care of. Oh, somebody got caught. I don't know if you guys heard the police siren. Or... Okay, the sprayer had a bit of a malfunction, but we're fine. And it actually is doing a much better job on the trim. I'll tell you what. Especially when I not, level it out after. So let's go ahead and do that. And wow, it really does do a fine job at the trim for sure. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Hopefully, get a better shot. Sorry, I got the camera like reversed, so it's a little hard for me to aim it. But yeah, look at that. Show you from this side. Hopefully you can see the difference though. The watermark is gone, or whatever, that streak is gone. It like filled it in or whatever, so it definitely does a great job at the trim for sure. This is definitely more for the trim, more so the tire, but probably use it as a means to add a little bit of protection over the dressing to preserve it from like chemical and whatever. And because this also goes on glass, we can definitely just wipe it off the glass, no problem, whatever part you got on. And the rest of the plastics over here, I don't know if you can see that. Just add it over here. Yeah, it really does a good job with the plastics. Darkening and stuff like that really adds that touch nicely. But yeah, no, I'm pretty impressed with the initial performance of the application so far. More so. But we'll definitely have to see about the longevity, the effects that has, whether it leaves any weird effects or whatever. I think it'll do just fine as something to protect your trim and such. In fact, I'm going to even wipe it on glass since it works on glass. This is supposed to be a universal seal or whatever, sealant. Yeah, I'm like, what I'm doing. I just wipe the whole thing on here, so. I tell myself, okay, now, get this all leveled out. That actually makes it very, very practical then, and very easy to apply, because you just wipe it all over the glass. And the trim. Let's go gentle on the trim. No, I think it absolutely does a really good job with the trim when it comes to darkening it, that is. And definitely, hopefully, will provide adequate protection for a decent amount of time. I'm sure it will, because, I mean, for something that's actually really this easy to apply, I think I can forgive it for if we have like at least a month or whatever of protection. But again, for something so easy, it's kind of nice. And then if you get in the paint, that's fine, because it's also meant for the paint as well. Again, that's what makes this really, really good. Kind of want to see how it goes on this part of the spoiler, since it's just ABS plastic, no paint on it. So I'm very curious. Okay, does it? Oh wow, okay. To some extent, yeah, it does actually darken the plastic a bit. Again, not too crazy. But strangely, more so, it performed very well on the trim rather than on other plastic surfaces. But even then, actually, it does go on rather nicely. It is flashing off, so it's a little harder to tell how the final look is. I'll just keep going like this, and then just level it off a little bit. I would say it would go on. It does go on decently on like ABS plastic. Not the best, but something if you want to put protection on, yeah. I think it's definitely not too bad. Yeah. Not too bad at all. All right, well, for the sake of ending the video, I'll do it right here. We applied the seal for most of the areas I wanted to apply to, including the tires and all that. And of course the trim, the plastics and everything, exterior plastics. I'll leave the interior for another time. I think they're still doing decent, so I'm gonna just leave it there for now and call it right here. So I think application-wise, this is very easy. Of course, just like with any other ceramic sealant, you definitely want to level it off. It will leave a high spot if you just don't do it right. And other than that, you're good. It goes on everywhere. Just do it on the glass and everything. In case, especially when you're doing it on the trim, it's gonna get on the glass. But because this goes on everywhere, that's fine. At least according to this anyway. So other than that, we're gonna test on the longevity and such. We'll see how the tire performs next time I do wash it. And we'll check on the trim. I'll keep an eye out for that as well, let you guys know. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this video for the wash and talk, and I'll do eventually a review on this once I see enough of the time and its effects on it, and we'll go from there. So thanks. If you have any comments or questions or whatever, anything about car detailing, leave it down below in this video. It helps out and I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also helpful for the channel. Again, much appreciated. So again, today we did test out Quiver Seal from Josh V's lineup, the universal ceramic sealant. Also testing out the acid wash, the quarterly acid wash method. And again, I'll leave that. I'll put a credit in the description below where I got the idea from. But yeah, so good stuff. The ceramic coating is still performing pretty decently, other than the roof. So something always about the roof. But if anyone has any answer for that, I'm all ears. And we'll just keep taking care of the car as much as we can, and life goes on. So again, thank you, and thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao now.